On this episode of Video Marketing Madness, we're going to talk about how to rank videos for 2017. And today's episode is made possible by freevideoeditor.co. Are you looking to start editing your videos? You want to look like a professional? Well, then head on over to freevideoeditor.co, download the Shotcut Video Editor and some of our extras, and start editing videos like a true professional. You'll love it. And your clients will love it as well, and your viewers. So lots of good stuff there. So with that, Steve, should we hit the song?
Let's hit the song.
Let's do it.
He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy.
And it's the radio show about Video Marketing Madness with Ray the Video Guy. I'm Steve Sleeper on the Earn.show podcast network. That's Ray right there, in case you didn't know. And you can find us on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube.
Plurk, you name it.
Plurk and Plurk.
Join us on our, see, you know what? This is how bad it is to get, MySpace. That's what I was going to say. Join us on our MySpace page.
MySpace.
I couldn't even remember the name.
There?
Plurk is still out there. It is. It absolutely is.
We
still use it, believe it or not.
How about So Cool? Remember So Cool? I wonder
So
if that's
Cool
still...
and what was the Friend Finder and
Friend Finder? Yeah.
All
a couple
sorts of
other
ones that were out there.
Yeah.
Okay, but most of them go. But hey, we're here to talk about 2017, and of course, 2017 has a lot of changes. But Plurk is still around, So
I'll be darned. Well, it allows us to say Plurk.
It allows us to say the word Plurk. There's not many times in life where you get to say Plurk. So there you go.
Well, and I try to avoid using profanity, so I can use Plurk instead.
Yes,
what the Plurk? What the Plurk?
Sounds like one of those Utah curse words. When I lived in Utah, they always have these flippin' fetchin', whatever. They come up with their own words.
Dadgum.
No, that's the Deep South. That's the Deep South.
Bobby Bowden curse words. Dadgum.
All right, well, it's 2017, the first episode of 2017. And, of course, we're doing it not only for our normal podcasts on iTunes and whatnot, but we are live on Facebook as well. So we're actually doing kind of this Howard Stern / Imus behind the scenes show of how our podcast works. And I actually forgot to turn the news crawl on. So now we got the news crawl going as well. So
good. Yeah, I was wondering. I was just looking and I didn't see it. So it's there. Oh, yes. There it is.
Now, of course, everybody that's, just listening in the future is probably going, what the heck are these guys talking about?
Yeah.
We do this live via video, so you can actually see us doing the show. We can wave to people, and people do get to listen in live. And we have a lot of fun doing it. So, in fact, Steve, I don't know, I haven't even mentioned this to you, but I'm going to throw this out there. We now have the ability, if we want to, if we choose to bring people in. In the old days, we used to use a system where people could call on the phone. And we kind of got rid of that system just because there was other weird limitations and not a lot of people called. But now that we do this live on Facebook, we do have a live audience that watches. They ask questions. They post comments. They tell us how pretty we look and all that other fun stuff. We actually will have the ability to bring people on if they want and ask questions. And they'll actually get on via video and they would show up. So the three of us will be on screen and they could talk. So we actually have the ability to do that. We may have to test that out one of these times in a mock radio show and see how that works.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I think it'd be a lot of fun. And it works basically the exact same way that you're joining me right now via the beta version of Mimo Call. So it's
it's very
could be a lot of fun. All right, so with that, other great things about 2017, we're here to talk about video ranking, which of course is an area that most of the listeners here are probably well familiar with. And Steve and I, we've been doing this for quite a long time, dealing with ranking videos. Now, I want to talk a little bit about history and talk about some of the things we used to do that would help us to rank videos and kind of compare it to what we do now. And for those of you that are watching, I would love to hear what you guys used to do for ranking videos. And we used to do a lot of weird things, things.
Yeah.
So back going, I don't know, I want to say back about 5-6 years ago now, probably, the way that we would rank a video was actually really, really simple. We'd put our video up on YouTube. We would also put it on places like Dailymotion and Metacafe, and we could actually rank a Metacafe or Dailymotion video probably in an hour. Now, of course, these days you can actually do that with YouTube. You can get your stuff ranked that quickly on YouTube, but there was actually a recipe that allowed you to get your Dailymotion or Metacafe videos onto page 1 literally within an hour. And we used to use that quite effectively. And of course, Metacafe and Dailymotion, still very popular video sites, although we don't do as much marketing on them as we used to. We still do put a lot of videos on there. But the big thing back then was views, backlinks, backlinks is still a big thing. Views is still a big thing. And what we used to do literally was we used to have a couple of websites we would go to, and we would put in our video, and we would tell that website, I want to get 10,000 views, and I want to get 30 comments, and I want to get a whole bunch of backlinks, and the software would just do this for us.
Yeah.
And literally, our plumbing video that we put up for a plumber in a town of 500 people would have 10,000 views by the next morning, and it would be on page 1, and everything was beautiful. Had a whole bunch of backlinks and everything. But, of course, the world has changed, and now that is no longer the recipe for getting your video ranked. It's the recipe for getting your video banned. And so all of that stuff no longer really applies.
And your channel.
And your channel, and your children killed, and your dog cooked on the grill. I mean, they do all sorts of things to you if you do that stuff nowadays. So, in other words,
you're exaggerating.
Maybe a little bit.
Okay.
Sorry, YouTube. But the reality is, the things that used to work really, really well, that were basically us cheating, no longer work really, really well. So we can't do that stuff anymore. Sometimes you can get away with little things for a while, but you're going to eventually get caught. And even doing backlinks, even doing good backlinks or decent backlinks, can get you into trouble if you're all of a sudden sending a whole bunch of backlinks. So you do have to be a little bit careful, but there are a lot of great things you can do nowadays that are much more white hat and are still going to get your videos ranked. It's going to get you leads. And some of them actually will get you leads by doing those things regardless of whether you get ranked. So it's actually a good method for that as well. And like I said, if anybody has any, some people are posting some fun things on here right now. So talking about Plurk there, so that seems to be the popular thing. They spelled it wrong, but they're talking about Mechanical Plurk, and yes, so that's the Mechanical Turk, by the way. What they're referencing there is a mix between Plurk and Mechanical Turk, which Mechanical Turk actually is a pretty good method for helping you rank videos these days. If it's even still around, I haven't used that particular one in ages. But what that was is it was a micro job sort of site where you could pay people to do little things for you. And one of the things that we've done actually effectively is use some of these micro job sites to get people to go out and actually watch our videos, to actually comment on our videos, to actually click the like button. And, it's real people that are doing it. They're going out there, they're literally watching your video, hitting the like button and posting a comment, and you're paying them a little bit of money to do it, 5 cents, 25 cents, maybe even $1. And, you can get a lot of that done for a very cheap price. So it's one thing that, since that was thrown out there, I thought I'd mention first is use the power of actual people. Whether it's asking all your friends to go and comment and like, whether it's using our Facebook group, which is the Online Video Marketers group. If you go into there, post your video, ask people to like and comment. You will get some people that'll go and do that. Ask your family, your friends, ask your subscribers on YouTube, ask everybody on Facebook. Try to get some actual people to jump in there and do action. And if you don't mind spending a few dollars, you can go to some of these micro job sites. Mechanical Turk was one of them. Again, I'm not even sure if that one's still around or not. But there's a bunch of them out there. Just do a search for that. You can go in there and you can pay people 25 cents, and they'll go and they'll search for your video online. They'll click on your video. They'll watch your video. They'll hit like. They'll leave a comment, and you pay them 25 cents. And it works really, really well. Again, is that a little bit gray hat? Maybe, maybe not, because it is real people. You're just paying them to go out and do that for you, but it can be very, very effective. And we've seen where, some of the videos that we've had trouble with, maybe they've been stuck on page 2, or they used to be on page 1, they got dropped to page 2 for a while. Well, now they jump back to page 1 because you do those kinds of things, and it can be a big help. It gets you views, it gets you comments, it gets you likes, it gets you shares, whatever it is that you ask people to do, and it makes a big difference. So it's a lot of inexpensive way to be able to build up some of that. Now, another thing that you can do, and this is one of the things that not a lot of people talk about, but can be very, very effective. Take some of the money that you used to use for some of those sketchy sites, or that you used to use on Fiverr, and go directly to YouTube and promote your video with YouTube. Pay them $5 to give you traffic. And, then you're paying for views, but you're paying YouTube, and they love that. And you're still getting all your views, but here's the side effect. Back in the old days when you used to go to Fiverr and pay somebody $5 to give you 10,000 views, or you went to one of those websites that did robotic views and things like that, they weren't going to buy anything. When you pay YouTube $5 a day to promote your video, it's real people that are watching your video, real people that are probably interested in some way, shape, or form with what you're promoting, and they're more likely to take an action. So for instance, if you're doing an affiliate product, well, you're promoting it on YouTube using the keyword for that affiliate product. So anybody that sees that ad and decides to click and watch is probably interested in that product. They may buy it. So rather than just costing you $5 or $10, you might actually make money doing that, and at the same time get more views, and at the same time, start to improve that ranking. So it's good stuff. Steve, you got something you want to say there?
Yeah, one thing I've noticed with buying the views, just recently, it's been within the last few months, it works great. Okay, that's the short story. What I find is I'll put a video up, I'll do my backlinking, which you're going to talk about, and it indexes, okay? And then I buy the views, and I get the Google bounce for a little while, because I think they want to see what kind of views they are, and then they look at it and go, oh, it's us. Okay, cool. And then it re-indexes, and it re-indexes higher in many cases. And so that's just one thing to keep in mind. Don't freak out if it does the Google bounce, because it seems that when you buy views, it will do that.
Yeah, well, and that's not just when you buy views. It's anything. In fact, years ago, I had put out a video that specifically talked about your video disappearing off of page 1, and how oftentimes it'll show up, it'll disappear, and it'll come back later. And that's just a normal part of ranking, because the theory goes that what happens is YouTube will test your stuff, put it on page 1, see what kind of traffic it gets, remove it, see what happens, put it back. And that tends to be what ends up happening with that, is it kind of bounces around and eventually ends up on page 1 and does really well for you. So that's just another way to do it. Get views by paying YouTube themselves. They want the money, so they're glad to give you the views. Why not do it that way? And like I said, we've done things where we've paid $5 or $10 to get a video to get views, with the hopes of ranking it better because we're getting these views. And we've sold $300 worth of product. So instead of spending $5, we made $300. So it can be very effective. And if you don't make any money directly from that, who cares? You would have spent the money on Fiverr anyway, and it would be gone. So it's a big help there. Local businesses, even better.
And if you bought it from Fiverr, you'd be banned.
Well, no, not necessarily. It depends on what you're buying.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it depends on what you're buying. You could be buying good backlinks on Fiverr. There's a lot of different things you could be doing.
Now, if you just go in there about views.
Yes, you just go there and you buy views. Yeah, you're going to get yourself into trouble. There probably are some decent ways to buy views on Fiverr, but I'm not going to recommend any because you never know. But there probably are decent ways to do that.
But why not just spend give that $5 to Google?
I completely agree. It's a better way to go. And there are things you're going to want to do on Fiverr that can definitely help you, and you can, spend a little bit of money there. Now, the next big thing that I want to talk about is social bookmarking. Now, social bookmarking, this is where you're essentially telling all the Web 2.0 properties about your video. You're posting it on on Facebook that you've got a new video. You're posting it on Twitter. You're putting it on all the other social media sites. And one of the best ways to do it that's fairly inexpensive is to use a site called OnlyWire. Now, what OnlyWire does is you go in there, you set up all of your accounts on all these different social media sites, some of which you've probably never heard of, like Plurk. And what you do is every time you put up a video, you take the link to that video, you go to OnlyWire, you paste it in there, and boom, it automatically sends that video out to all the different social bookmarking sites and can really be a big boost to your video. In fact, we did a go ahead.
High Five.
Yeah, High Five is one that's on there. Instapaper, you name it, they're all on there. But we did a case study by accident one time, and fortunately, I did record this. What happened was, I was doing a video for an affiliate product. So obviously, because it was a new affiliate product with an odd little name, it didn't have a ton of competition. So it should have been very easy to rank for this particular product. Well, I noticed that after about a week of putting it up, I wasn't on page 1. I wasn't anywhere to be found. And I thought, well, this is kind of strange. Why am I, I'm doing okay on YouTube. It's there, just not showing up on Google. And so I did a little bit of research and I noticed that, oh, wait, I never ran it through my social bookmarking. I didn't put it in OnlyWire. So I decided to record this and I did a little video and I told people what happened. Hey, I didn't do this. I'm going to try this out and see if the social bookmarking makes any difference. I ran it through OnlyWire on the social bookmarking, and literally within 5 minutes, that video was not only on page 1, it was number 1 on page 1, and it was nowhere to be found in Google 10 minutes earlier. So it can be a very effective way to do that. Now, if you've got a product for dog training or, how to lose weight, it's probably not going to be that dramatic of a change. But the point being is this was easy enough of a keyword that we could see that there was a major difference. And that's going to help you in any of the types of things that you do. So social bookmarking, very important. You can do that with OnlyWire. You can do that with SendWire. You can do it manually. If you don't mind going in and putting, something on each of the sites, or even paying somebody on a place like Upwork to do that work for you each and every time you put a video up, there's, it's a good way to be able to get some of that juice back. Now, the next one is...
Well, now, let me ask, do you use IFTTT for that too?
Oh, yeah. You know what? And that's one that should be mentioned. IFTTT, same exact type of thing. You go into IFTTT, completely free, and you can build your own OnlyWire-like network. So and here's the best part. Every time you upload a video, you won't even have to go to IFTTT and do it like you will with some of the other ones. It'll automatically see, IFTTT will see that you put up a video and automatically send it out to all these sites. So you can do that. You can automate it straight down. So that's another great way to do it.
And another thing I found with IFTTT, as long as I don't get, and it, by the way, stands for if this, then that.
Correct.
Yes. So if I post a YouTube video, then post it to my Facebook page. What I have found too, as long as I don't get crazy, as long as I'm conservative, I could do some link wheels in there too.
Oh yeah, no, you absolutely can. You do have to be a little bit careful because if you get too crazy, all of a sudden you upload a video and the video gets posted to Facebook and it gets posted to Twitter, and then Twitter posts it again to Facebook, and then it posts to Tumblr, and Tumblr posts to Twitter and Facebook, and the next thing you know, the same video is on your Facebook timeline 13 times and on your Twitter 10 times, and then it becomes a mess and people start complaining. So you just have to be careful. Just make sure you set up very natural looking link wheels and things like that to make sure that everything works well. But it can be a very effective way of doing that. And quite honestly, if you're using something like OnlyWire, it's not really creating a link wheel, and it's still very effective. So even if you just do IFTTT where you upload a video and it just posts that video to 10 to 20 different places, then you're going to do really well. My only problem with IFTTT is you do have to go back in there every once in a while and make sure everything's still connected, and they're not. You don't have all of the sites that you really would want to have inside of IFTTT. So.
One thing for monitoring IFTTT, what I've done is I've got a bunch of Gmail accounts, and so I'll set it up using the emails I've got, the different emails. Each one of those emails, I'm forwarding it to my main email. So if something in IFTTT goes down, they'll notify me at the email address that I've used for IFTTT, and then I know about it. Now, that being said, I still go in, 3 or 4 times a year and check out everything and make sure that I've, that everything's cool.
Nice. Yeah, and absolutely. And it's easy. If anything does go down, it's just a matter of clicking a button and it fixes it within seconds. So it's not hard at all. But that's a great way to do that. But yeah, the social bookmarks, very, very important. Now, another thing that can be very important and very helpful is to embed the video in as many places as you can. So if you have the ability to embed it places on a website, etc., do that as well. And if you can, unless there's a reason to, do not autoplay the video. So if you've got blogs, put it on the blog, but if you can avoid it, don't autoplay the video. And the reason for that is, let's say you put it on your blog and somebody goes to that page and it autoplays, none of those views count, okay? The only time of an embedded view counts is if somebody clicks the play button. And the reason is for that because they want to know how many people chose to watch that video, not just how many people were forced to get it in front of their face. So if you can, embed the video, but don't have it autoplay. But embeds can be a very effective way to help out. If you've got your own little, set of blogs on WordPress, put it on all of them. Put wherever you can. Put it in some of those places, and that can be a big help.
Which, by the way, IFTTT will do.
Can help you do that as well. Absolutely. All right, so another thing that we want to talk about, and we're going to talk about some pretty high-level newer stuff in just a second, but one thing that we have to mention is the actual YouTube page itself. You want to make sure you've got good keywords. You want to make sure you got the keyword in your title. You want to make sure it's in your description. You want to have a nice long description. You want to have good information in that description, links to, authority sites from that description, links to your other videos, all of that kind of stuff that can really help to improve the SEO of that video. Because one thing that people forget is that page that the video is on is just a page, just like any other page, and you need to have good SEO. So will a video with bad SEO still rank? It can, but you might as well give yourself the best opportunity possible by going in there, using proper keywords in the titles, tags, descriptions, making sure you fill it out nicely. Put in things like the subtitles. Make sure the subtitles work properly, that they've got all your keywords in there so that you can really have a good, strong foundation to build off of. And speaking of that foundation, you also want to make sure that you've got a good channel. And what I mean by that is make sure the channel is optimized. Make sure that the channel mentions some of the things that you've got videos about. Put keywords in there. Make sure that you've got your cover art on there. Make sure that you've got an icon that's already loaded in on there. And and I'll be honest, I've got channels that break some of these rules, which really need to be fixed. But it definitely can make a big difference. In fact, we did a case study on this as well back about 2 years ago, where we had 3 different YouTube channels. One was a brand new channel that had nothing set up yet. One was an established channel that had everything set for ages. And one was a channel that had been around for a little while, not very long, but was very well set up. It had all the graphics and all the information and whatnot. And we took the same video with just a tiny little bit of a difference. We uploaded it to each of those channels. And wouldn't you know, number 1 on page 1 was the established channel, the video that was on the established channel. Number 2 on page 1 was the video on the pretty good channel. And number 3 on page 1 was the video that was on the brand new channel with no, without doing anything on the channel itself. And so, was it coincidental that they just happened to be 1, 2, and 3? Maybe. But I think it really shows that, hey, they preferred to put the video that was on the established channel that was done right at the top and scale it down, from there. And so that, that kind of showed that that's an important thing to do. It can be a big help. Is it a massive factor? Maybe not, but it can definitely give you a little bit of boost. And anytime that you can get a boost, you might as well take it. So that's
absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Now, speaking of your videos, there's a couple of other things that you can do that can really make I shouldn't say can really make a difference, could possibly make a difference. And the reason I say that is people argue about these things all the time. Nobody knows what the real truth is because only Google does. But we've done some experiments and we've seen some things, and it kind of leads us to believe that some of these things make a difference. One of them is naming your actual file. So for instance, if you upload a video for a plumber in Lake Elsinore, which is where I live, and that video that you upload is called video1.mp4, you want to change that to Lake Elsinore plumber.mp4. Will that make a major difference? That's what people argue. But the way I see it is, it's a keyword, it's there, you might as well do it. It can definitely help out in some way, shape, or form. And one way that we found that it does help is the related videos. And we've noticed that when we put a video up there that has a title, that the related videos, the ones that show up on the side of your video, tend to match what that file name was, even if you do nothing else. So we've got some evidence that suggests that they are paying attention to that in some way, shape, or form, so you might as well do it. Now, one ninja trick with that is take your video file before you upload it, give it that name, but go into whatever program. For instance, I'm on a Mac. If I go to that video and I hit Command I for information on that video, you have the opportunity to put in metadata. So metadata including keywords, descriptions. So you can actually upload a video that has keywords already attached to the video itself in the metadata and a description in the metadata. That can also be a big help for SEO. So you might as well do that as well. You're already going to be doing keywords. You're already going to be doing a description. Do it there before you upload. If it doesn't make any difference, who cares? You've already written the stuff anyway. You need the information. You might as well put it there. Will it help? Who knows? But it might. So you might as well do it. Okay, so now we've got our video up there. We've got our titles. We've got our tags. We've got our descriptions. We've paid YouTube for some views. We've run it through all the social media with with OnlyWire or an IFTTT. So what can we do next? Well, there's some cool things that are becoming very, very popular, and there's stuff that can sound a little complex, but fortunately, it's getting a little bit easier to do. Now, one of those things is a private blog network. Now, some of you may immediately go, whoa, wait a minute, private blog networks, Google doesn't like those things. You got to be careful with these things, but there are ways to do it. So you want to do some research, but if you can create a private blog network that sends traffic back to that video, you can do really, really well, and you can do well very quickly. So I highly recommend you check that out. You can also go to places like Fiverr, find people that have already created private blog networks, use the power of their network to give juice to that video, and you can do very well with it there. And that includes, as long as you're on Fiverr, you can also look for people that will do traditional backlinks for you as well, because that can be a big help. So all of those things can be done right on Fiverr if you don't want to do them yourself. But private blog networks, definitely something that can be a big help. Now, I'll be completely honest. I am not an expert on private blog networks. I rely on other people to do all that stuff. So I can't really even talk too intelligently on it other than figure out how to do it, get somebody who knows how to do it, have them do it, and you'll get a big benefit out of that. So highly recommended there. And then the other thing that can be a big help too is to go out and find expired domains. Now, this is a trick that's become really popular of late. And there are some tools out there that you can use to find domains that are expired, that have, good page rank, and they've already got backlinks and all this other stuff. And if you can take that and you can redirect it to your video or to a page that has your video, again, huge benefit. And again, something that I'm not personally a big expert on. I'm learning about it personally, but I have other people that I have that can do that kind of stuff for me to make sure those things happen when I need that to be there. Now, these are more advanced things. They're going to work. They're going to be very effective. But are they needed? It depends on your keyword. A fairly easy keyword, you're probably doing overkill with all that stuff. But if you've got a keyword that's important, very, very effective way to do that. So
talk about the expired domains again.
Yeah. So what happens is, let's say you've got a video about plumbing, for a local plumber. Well, you may discover that there's a domain that existed called plumbingtips.com, and somebody let it expire. They didn't renew it. It's available right now. It's got a high page rank. It's got a whole bunch of backlinks already posted to it and everything else. Well, now you can take that and you can use that to keep all of that juice and forward all that juice to your video. And so that's kind of the basic idea of it. Again, I'm not a super expert on that personally. I have other people that are the experts that I kind of just have them do that when that's needed. Now, do you need that for, a small town, a plumbing video in a tiny town? Maybe not. It might be overkill. But if you're trying to do that in a bigger city, it could be a big help to you there. So highly recommend that you do that as well. Mm-hmm. Now, on top of that, traditional backlinks, again, Fiverr can help you with that. Be a little bit careful with that. Make sure that you get a good provider. Check them out. Make sure they've got good rankings. But when you do these things, you can do very well with ranking videos in 2017. Most of it has to do with being more transparent and not doing anything too crazy. Now, the private blog networks, the expired domains, that starts to get a little more gray, but it can be very, very effective and it shouldn't get you into any trouble unless you're doing something a little bit too crazy. But for the most part, all those tips put together are going to give you really good results for ranking videos. In many cases, if you're just doing your titles, your tags, your descriptions properly for easier keywords, you're going to rank pretty well anyway, especially if you do social bookmarking. So if you stick with those things, you can do that very easily, then get into the other things. If it's a tougher keyword, or if you really want to make sure that you're up there, you can start getting into all that other stuff.
Yeah, what I try to go for is decent long tail keywords that are probably not the most competitive in the world, but are decent.
Well, and that's something that really needs to be mentioned because, we tend to want to go for, dog training as our keyword, because it has 50,000 searches a month or 500,000 searches a month. But the problem is that's going to take so much work to get that 50,000 views, to get onto page one. However, if you were to take that same thing of dog training and break it down and find 10 keywords that are easy to rank for, you might still get that 50,000 views a month because this one has 1,000, this one has 5,000, this one has 200, this one has 10,000. Next thing you know, you've got just as many eyeballs for those keywords, and it's going to be much easier for you. So you really want to check out a lot of different keywords, see what's got views, see what's got which ones are going to be the most complex to rank for, and then go for the ones that make the most sense. And you can do really, really well by doing that. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me ask you something, and this may just be for my own edification, but talk about something like VidPenguin.
Actually, and that's I'm glad you mentioned that because that's something we should definitely talk about. So there's a product that we're talking about called VidPenguin. There's another product called Loop Video that kind of does a somewhat similar type of thing. But essentially what those products do is they take your YouTube video and they create or they take all of the different URLs for that video. So for instance, if I upload a video right now, the name of that video is going to be youtube.com/this/ 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 dot whatever.
Yada yada. Yeah.
It's a good sized little URL. Well, there's also u2.be/1 2 3 4 5 6 7 that points to the same video. It's a shortened URL. But there's also a variety of URLs for that have embed in there, that have, they point to the exact same video, but there's a whole bunch of different URLs. So what a program like VidPenguin does is it goes out and it grabs all the possible URLs inside of YouTube and shorteners that point to that video. And then it indexes those links, those shortened links, those longer links, those variety of links that point to that video, and indexes all of those, pings all of those, and it sends a ton of juice because of all the different URLs, and you can rank very, very well with that. Now, what VidPenguin does is something you can do manually. You can figure out what all the different URLs are, create a database, put them together, but literally a program like VidPenguin does that for you indexes them all in the click of a button. I mean, literally 5 seconds, and it does it all. In fact, the first few times I used the program, I'm like, wait, that's all I need to do? I just put that in here and hit go, and it does all that for me? It's like, yep, oh, no, you're done. Okay. And that can be a big help because now you're indexing a whole bunch of links that point back to that same video. And it's very similar to, kind of like having backlinks at that point. It's a similar type of thing. It's a little bit different, but similar idea. You've got all these links that point to that video. So it can be very effective.
You can take this is kind of cool too. You can take the RSS feed that VidPenguin generated and put it into FeedBurner and index that as well. Put that in their indexer, and that's kind of neat,
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of cool things. So if you want to check that out, I would highly recommend you do a search for it. I'd give you an affiliate link, but I don't have one off the top of my head here. But just check it out. It's a great program. We did a webinar about it a little while back, and it really is a very effective product and can really make a big difference for your rankings. And again, it's very, very easy to use. So I use that product with pretty much every video that I do. So,
yeah, me too.
Now, a couple other things I want to mention: playlists. Put your videos into playlists. Then try to then do your SEO on the playlist. Take that playlist, put it through some of the things we've talked about to try and get some extra juice there. And if you don't have, let's say you're doing an affiliate product and you don't really have a lot of videos to put into a playlist, well, find other videos that are already on YouTube that aren't yours and make a playlist out of that. So, for instance, let's say you're selling, LifeLock, and you create a video review about LifeLock. And if you don't know what LifeLock is, it's a credit monitoring program that basically helps keep you from having fraud, so nobody can steal your identity. You're selling that as an affiliate. Make a video about it. Well, then go find the official video for it, put that into the playlist with it. So now you've got a playlist with a couple of videos, put all your information on there, and use that playlist to give you extra juice. Make a couple videos for that product, make a playlist of just your videos for that product. It can be very, very effective, gives you another opportunity for something to rank. So literally, you get good at this. You could have 3 of your videos on page 1 for different keywords and the playlist on page 1. You can do really well. And on YouTube, even better, because it's easier to rank some of those things all together. You might do a search for a certain product and you own the whole first 10 videos that show up in search because you got playlists and you got your channel listed and you got 5 videos listed, and you can do very well. So I highly recommend that you do that to make a big difference in your marketing there. So
yeah.
Yes, indeed. So that's
cool.
Pretty much it. I'm sure with all that talk, we may have missed a few things. So if you're watching this, feel free to post a comment. Let us know what we missed. What do you do for video ranking that maybe we forgot to mention, or that maybe we don't know about? Maybe you've got some secret that works really well. Be sure to post that and let us know about it, because we want to hear, so we can add that to a future episode, or maybe not. Maybe we'll keep it secret. Who knows?
Yeah. And show notes, I keep notes, and the show notes, I put them in on Earn.show and on Blog Talk Radio and YouTube, and with this live Facebook. Now, Ray, you're posting it to your Ray Lane page and to a bunch of groups. I will take the show notes on Ray's personal page, Ray Lane, and put it in the comments section if you need to look at the show notes on Facebook. So
beautiful. That would be a wonderful thing.
Just in that one spot. So that's where you need to go find them. Yep.
All right.
Yep.
And with that, we're going to hit our little Mindset Matters bump here. So here we go. You ready? Listen up, everybody.
And now, Mindset Matters.
Oof, that's so awesome. Our explosion there. All right. So what is our Mindset Matters for the year 2017? Well, the first one of the year, I'm going to keep it very basic and something that everybody probably has on their phone, but can be very effective for your mindset, and that is Amazon Kindle. Now, and we're not necessarily talking about the actual Kindle device. If you have one of those, fantastic. But if you've got your iPhone or your Android phone, you can get the Kindle app. And here's the cool thing. Most Kindle books are only a couple of dollars.
That's right.
So, maybe you've always wanted to read a popular book like the, I don't know, I'm trying to think of, maybe Napoleon Hill books, or maybe you wanted to Dr. Stephen Covey books. Well, you can get them on Amazon Kindle, usually for just a couple of dollars, and read all the classics for business, for mindset, for helping you with certain different things, or even for entertainment, because you know what? The mind grows even if you're reading for entertainment. Think about some of the books that you've read in the past that were purely for entertainment, but had all sorts of great information that you learned about that you may not have learned otherwise. So highly recommend that you download Amazon Kindle or buy a Kindle, get a Kindle Fire, whatever it happens to be. Start reading those books on your phones and your iPads and your computers and everything else. And I guarantee that if you read enough books, you're going to learn enough stuff. And there are books, by the way, if you looked at my Kindle right now, you will see that I've got books on things like social media. I've got books on escape rooms. I've got books on, how to grow your business, how to, set the right mindset, how to set goals, all sorts of fun things, and they're all right there on Kindle. So highly recommend that you add that to your collection of goodies. At one point last year, we talked about audible.com in a general sense. Well, this is just like audible.com. It's a very vital thing to have so you can get all the information from books that you need to read. So highly recommend you download it today.
And it's the radio show about video marketing madness with Ray the Video Guy, and I'm Steve Sleeper on the Earn.Show podcast network. And today's program made possible by
freevideoeditor.co. Are you looking to start editing videos, but you want to do more than what Windows Movie Maker does for you? Well, now is your chance to download a high-end video editing program that has things like transitions and green screening and 3-point editing and 3D text and all that other fun stuff. And you can download it today at freevideoeditor.co, along with some other goodies that we've thrown in there as well. And you can start editing like a pro without paying the hundreds of dollars that it costs to get programs like Final Cut Pro or Adobe Premiere. So check it out today at freevideoeditor.co.
Very, very good. And let's wrap it up with Neil Young singing the Ray the Video Guy jingle.
That's right. Here it is. Neil Young with Ray the Video Guy theme song.
He's Ray the Video Guy, yeah, Ray the Video Guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the Video Guy, yeah, Ray the Video Guy.